Good evening, this is TCN English News Edition and you're watching with me, Ning Hoi Kim Kong Sai. First, the headlines. Heavy to very heavy rainfall likely at different places in Manipur on May 5th, 2024. Medical Department gives advice to the public on how to prevent from the arising common acute disease in the district. 5 dead after car falls into deep ditch in Dehradun. News in detail. Bringing respite to the recent heat, the India Meteorological Department (IMD) has predicted heavy to very heavy rainfall for several parts of the northeastern region till May 6th. The India Meteorological Department has said that Manipur, Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Mizoram, and Tripura are likely to receive heavy to very heavy rainfall on May 5 and 6. It said a cyclonic circulation lies over sub-Himalayan West Bengal and another over Marathwada, and a trough runs from Meghalaya to the cyclonic circulations over Marathwada in lower tropospheric levels. Strong southwesterly winds from Bay of Bengal to northeast India are very likely to prevail at lower tropospheric levels on May 5th and 6th, 2024. Fairly widespread to widespread, light to moderate rainfall accompanied with isolated thunderstorm and lightning and gusty winds of 40 to 50 km per hour, very likely over Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Sikkim, and Nagaland, Mizoram, and Tripura during the next 5 days. Isolated heavy rainfalls are very likely over Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, and Meghalaya, Nagaland, Mizoram, and Tripura during May 5th to 7th, on Sikkim on May 5th. Isolated very heavy rainfall are very likely over Arunachal Pradesh on May 5th, Assam and Meghalaya, and Mizoram, Tripura on May 5th and 6th, and isolated extremely heavy rainfall likely over Meghalaya on May 6, 2024. With the summer season spiking temperature in the district, many common viral and bacterial diseases arise in the district. And in connection to this, the medical department shares some points on how to prevent ourselves from getting infected by the viral diseases. Climate change has been a great factor against the rise of many new diseases. The climate has changed tremendously since the beginning days. As such, many more diseases will arise in the future. As well, so the medical department advised us to drink plenty of water and to stay hydrated every day. They further advised us to eat plenty of vegetables in our meals, to wear cotton clothes, to avoid alcohols and drink beverages instead, to open windows and ventilations in our homes, to put on a headwear or cover when going out under the sun, to avoid street foods which are sold besides the dusty Lamka road, to not leave kids and pets inside our vehicles parked under the sun, and many more. The temperature this year has increased slightly as compared to last year, so children, pregnant women, daily wages earner, differently able persons, cardiac patients, people with high blood pressures, and elderly persons are requested to take extra care since they are more likely to get infected by the prevailing bacterial and viral diseases that arise due to the increasing temperature. For the first time in history, NEET, National Eligibility Common Entrance Tests, undergraduate 2024 examinations exam center have been appointed in Churachandpur district. In regards to this, tomorrow around 1,000 NEET candidates will be writing their examinations at Rayburn College, Gangpimul. Today, Reverend Dr. Ken P. Tombing, Principal, Rayburn College, urged the public not to create any situations tomorrow so that the students can write their exams peacefully. The candidates will be coming from different places like Gangvai area, Moreh, Gangpokpi, and other places. The exam will be conducted between 2 p.m. to 5:20 p.m. and Reverend Dr. Ken Tombing further requested the public to lend help to the candidates if they need, and also not to create unwanted situations for the students, since this exam is very crucial to the students. Yesterday, the women of Moreh who sat on duty at Moreh key locations point also conducted candlelight vigil at their duty point. Despite of all the hardships and sufferings the people are facing in the town of Moreh, a candlelight vigil program was conducted by the women folks who sat on duty at key locations point Moreh in the evening of May 3rd as a solidarity gesture to our brave martyrs. The women on duty were unable to attend the morning and noon programs of May 3rd, which is observed as a Cookies Awakening Day. Hence, they did what they can by organizing a candlelight vigil in the evening at their place of duty. Sisi, leader of the duty women, said, "We all light a candle in our respective locations and it was conducted successfully," she said. They also discussed about their future plans together. "We cannot predict our future, so we must be cautious and not fall for the traps of the enemies," she added. May 4, 2024, it has been reported that the Jin National Army (CNA) has captured a Zomi Revolutionary Army ZRA camp based in Taitain Township, Jin State. Sources say that many ZRA cadres died during the firing. Clashes between ZRA armed forces and CNA broke out in Taitain Township from May 1st to May 3rd. And there was bilateral casualties from an anonymous ground source. After CNA took over ZRA camp near Laitu village, CNA troops have completely taken over ZRA camp, Mount Carmel camp near Malone village. The CNA seized a hammer gun, 2 helmet motor launchers, speakers and assorted cells, as well as accessories at the ZRA camp, Mount Carmel camp capture. The ZRA armed force base in Manipur State, India are often seen conducting security operations with military council forces in Taitain and Tunza cities, and also raiding PDF Zoland and PDA camps in Taitain Township. Yesterday at around 11:30 p.m., an incident occurred at Tangmal village, Tidim Road. 1 person died and 2 were injured in the accident. The deceased was identified as one Pautin Mang, son of Ninkolun, hailing from Esmuljam village, Churchampur. The 3 of them were riding a bike where the deceased was sitting at the back when they accidentally hit cows that were roaming along the highway at night. Pautin Mang fell off as they hit the cow and was reported to die at the spot. The YVA Tangmal unit covered the dead body with a Vaipai Pundum. The YVA also reported that 2 cows died at the accident spot, which were hit by Pautin Mang and his friends. Pautin Mang's dead body was taken to district hospital using KKL General Headquarters ambulance and was escorted by the KKL members. His 2 companions were luckily not seriously injured. Meghalaya government has planned to deploy approximately 300 cameras equipped with facial recognition technology across Ceylon. According to Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma, the installations of these cameras aims to serve as a deterrent to lawbreakers. Funds totaling rupees 150 crore have been allocated under the Smart City project for the establishment of the Integrated Control and Command Center, ICCC, CM Sangma stated. Work is already underway, with high-level cameras being installed at various junctions. Close to 300 cameras will be deployed citywide, bolstered by facial recognition software, he added. The Chief Minister mentioned that by July, the inauguration of the Integrated Command Center is anticipated. It would include over 300 cameras equipped with facial recognition software. He stressed that while comprehensive detections could not be assured, the mere presence of these cameras would serve as a strong deterrent. Sangma also noted that with the expansion of the camera network, people would become increasingly aware of being under surveillance. He expressed confidence in the initiative's ability to reduce incidents and criminal activities. Despite recognizing the impracticality of achieving complete eliminations due to spatial constraints, Sangma stated that they would begin with deployment and gradually expand it in the future. The Catholic Associations of Nagaland CAN issued a statement following the proposal of Bharatiya Janata Party BJP to undertake cleanliness drive in church compounds of the state on May 11th. In a statement, the CAN stated, "The church reserves her rights over religious properties," it stated. The Catholic Church reserves her rights over her religious properties, including her sacred worship place, the church, which is cared for in sanctity and with utmost dignity. The association also questioned BJP's intent regarding the cleanliness drive. Despite desiring to view the proposal charitable, CAN cannot but questioned the intentions of the BJP due to the reason that general elections for Lok Sabha are ongoing with 5 of the 7 phases remaining. And any unusual proposal by a political party bears the burden of being viewed as an elections gimmick. It also stated, any plan by a group or party involving another group's property without consent amounts to, at base, a lack of due respect, and at worst, a disregard of the right to property recognized by the Supreme Court of India as a human right. The CAN also stated that the nation has seen a tremendous rise in atrocities towards Christians in recent years, with more than 150 incidents of such violence recorded in the first 2 months of 2024, itself is stated. It said, "We have witnessed the destructions of church properties and whole buildings in the neighboring states of Assam and Manipur in the past 1 year. It is difficult to not see a relationship between correlations and causation, when the very vast majority of these cases have been in BJP-ruled states with the same party ruling the central government. Therefore, while reiterating the practical nature and status of the associations and the church, the association appreciated the parish priests, heads of institutions, and the lay faithful for always safeguarding the sanctity and dignity of our sacred spaces, and treats them to continue to be ever wary of proposals or offers, be they incitements or inducements, from political parties." CAN calls upon BJP members of the state to tame the goodwill of the people by urging their counterparts in the rest of the country to take positive action against persecutions of minorities, to bring justice to victims, and to restore peace and protect church properties everywhere, the statement added. Furthermore, CAN urged all political parties and public servants to uphold the values and freedoms that both the traditions and the constitutions of the nations guarantees to the people. Coming to national news. 5 people were killed and 1 was severely injured after a car fell into a deep ditch in Dehradun district of Uttarakhand today, May 4th. The incident took place near Paini Wala Band on Mussoorie-Dehradun Merge, Jadipani Road, Uttarakhand. According to the Superintendent of Police SP for the city, Pramod Kumar, a car lost control and fell into a deep ditch in which 5 people died while 1 girl was seriously injured. The injured was identified as Nancy, who is undergoing medical treatment. The injured condition is critical, said Kumar. There were a total of 7 members in the car, out of which 4 were boys, while 2 were girls. All were students of Dehradun IMS College and had come to Mussoorie for a trip, Kumar added. While returning to Dehradun in the morning, the car fell into a deep ditch, Kumar said. Further, he said that emergency response teams, including the Mussoorie Police, Fire Service, and State Disaster Response Force (SDRF) quickly arrived on the scene following reports of the accident. They successfully rescued the 2 girls from the ditch and transported them to a hospital in Dehradun. However, despite their efforts, One of the girls succumbed to her injuries later in the hospital, raising the death toll to 5. Earlier on April 22, one person died, while another was injured after a vehicle fell into a gorge in Rudraprayag district of Uttar Pradesh on Monday, say officials. The deceased was identified as Pritam Singh, 24 years, and the injured as Suraj Singh, 35. Both were a resident of Bunka village, Rudraprayag, according to officials. The Rudraprayag District Control Room informed the State Disaster Response Force SDRF team that a vehicle had met with an accident at a location called Bunka in the Rudraprayag district. On receiving this information, Sub-Inspector Bhagat Singh and the SDRF rescue team immediately set off for the accident site. 2 people were in the vehicle, one of whom died on the spot, while the other was injured and had already been rescued and sent to the hospital by local people, the officials added. As soon as the team reached, they extracted the body of the second person from the wrecked vehicle and transported it to the main road using a stretcher, handing it over to the district of police, said officials. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressing an elections rally in Palamu, in Uttarakhand, lashed out at previous Congress governments for their approach towards Pakistan on the issue of terrorism. Modi criticized the past policies, describing them as weak and accusing them of sending love letters to Pakistan, which resulted in increased terrorist activities instead of peace. Earlier, terrorists used to freely kill innocents and governments used to write love letters to Pakistan. But Pakistan sent more terrorists in response to letters. But with the power of your one vote, I said, enough is enough. Today's new India doesn't give the dozer. PM Modi stated, highlighting a shift in India's stance post 2014. This is new India. Ghar mein kush ki marta hai. There was a time when people from Jharkhand and Bihar, who used to go to protect our nations, were dying for the country on borders. It was among the occasions coward governments of Congress used to cry about it in the whole world. PM Modi said at an elections rally in Palamu. The surgical and the Balakot strikes hook Pakistan. Now Pakistan is crying all over the world and is shouting "Bachao, Bachao." Modi remarked, underlining the effectiveness of strong actions against terrorism. He also criticized Congress by alleging that previous governments were weak in addressing issues like nationalism, terrorism, and Article 370. Modi claimed that these problems were rooted out after 2014, with the power of citizens' votes leading to significant changes in policy and security measures. Addressing the upcoming elections in Jharkhand, Modi asked for a strong government and highlighted the achievements of the BJP-led National Democratic Alliance (NDA) in the region. He referenced the distributions of wealth and economic challenges, contrasting them with Pakistan's situations in response to comments made by former Pakistan Minister Fawad Chaudhry praising Rahul Gandhi's socialist ideology. Elections in Jharkhand are scheduled in 4 phases: May 13, 20, 25, and June 1. The BJP-led NDA won 12 seats in Uttarakhand in the 2019 elections, with the BJP securing 11 seats. The results of the ongoing general elections, held in 7 phases, will be declared on June 4. Coming to international news. UK Foreign Secretary Lord Cameron has said it is up to Ukraine to decide how to use British weapons and insisted it has the right to strike targets on Russian territory. During a visit to Kyiv, he said the UK would provide £3 billion per year for as long as necessary. Just as Russia is striking inside Ukraine, you can quite understand why Ukraine feels the need to make sure it's defending itself, Lord Cameron said. Russia condemned what is called another very dangerous statement. This is a direct escalation of tension around the Ukrainian conflict, which would potentially pose a threat to European security, said Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov. Lord Cameron did not directly endorse the idea of British weapons being used to strike targets inside Russia. But until now, the UK has generally let it be understood, without spelling it out, that weapons such as the long-range Storm Shadow missile could only be used inside sovereign Ukrainian territory. There have been several examples of its successful use in Russian-occupied Crimea, including against elements of Russia's Black Sea Fleet. However, coming on the heels of Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's pledge to give Ukraine £3 billion in military assistance every year for the foreseeable future, it seems Lord Cameron wanted to emphasize that it is up to Ukraine to decide what it does with it. The US has reportedly urged Ukraine to halt its strikes on oil refineries in Russia, fearing it could provoke an escalation in the conflict. Peskov also took aim at French President Emmanuel Macron, who said this week that the West would legitimately have to consider whether to send ground troops to Ukraine if the Russians were to break through the front lines, if there were Ukrainian requests. Macron's remarks to the Economist were a very dangerous trend, said the Kremlin spokesman. However, the French leader made clear in his interview that if Russia won in Ukraine, there would be no security in Europe. Russian forces have seized several villages in eastern Ukraine during recent advances. Taking advantage of Ukrainian shortage of weapons and manpower, Ukrainian intelligence officials also believe Russia is gearing up for a summer offensive in the northeastern regions of Kharkiv and Sumy. The commander of the National Guard, Oleksandr Pivnenko, warned recently that Russia was preparing unpleasant surprises and quietly recruiting 30,000 people a month. A Russian strike on Kharkiv on Friday killed an elderly woman in her home, and a tram carrying passengers also came under fire, according to Mayor Ihor Terekhov. Canadian police on Friday arrested and charged 3 Indian men with the murder of Sikh separatist leader Hardeep Singh Nijjar last year and say they were probing whether the men had ties to the Indian government. Nijjar, 45, was shot dead in June outside a Sikh temple in Surrey, a Vancouver suburb with a large Sikh population. A few months later, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau cited evidence of Indian government involvement, prompting a diplomatic crisis with New Delhi. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police named the 3 men as Karanpreet Singh, 28, Kamalpreet Singh, 22, and Karan Brar, 22. We are investigating their ties, if any, to the Indian government, Mandeep Mukher, and RCMP superintendent told a televised news conference. The Indian missions in Ottawa did not respond to the request for comment. Nijjar was a Canadian citizen campaigning for a creation of Khalistan, an independent Sikh homeland carved out of India. The presence of Sikh separatist groups in Canada has long frustrated New Delhi, which has labeled Nijjar a terrorist. Last week, the White House expressed concern about the reported role of the Indian intelligence service in assassination plots in Canada and the UN and the United States. Canadian police said they had worked with US law enforcement agencies without giving additional details and suggested more detentions might be coming. These investigations doesn't end here. We are aware that others may have played a role in this homicide, and we remain dedicated to finding and arresting each one of these individuals, said Assistant RCMP Commissioner David Thibault. The trio, all Indian nationals, were arrested in the city of Edmonton in Alberta on Friday, police said. They are due to arrive in British Columbia by Monday. Trudeau announced in September that Canadian authorities were pursuing allegations linking Indian government agents to the murder. New Delhi rejected Trudeau's claim as absurd. We welcome the arrest, but this does lead to a lot more questions, say Balpreet Singh, legal counsel and spokesperson for the Canada-based World Sikh Organization's advocacy group. Those who have been arrested are part of a hit squad, but it's clear that they were directed, he said by phone. Canada had been praising India to cooperate in its investigations. Last November, US authorities said An Indian government official had directed the plot in the attempted murder on U.S. soil of Gurpatwan Singh Pannund, a Sikh separatist and dual citizens of the U.S. and Canada. While today's actions is a step forward, it only scratches the surface, Pannund said in a statement, calling for actions to dismantle the networks that enable and perpetrate such crimes against Canadians. DRI officials intercepted Zakia Wardak, the Consulate General of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan, at the Mumbai airport recently. They recovered 25 kg of gold worth rupees 18.6 crore that she was allegedly attempting to smuggle into India from Dubai. The incident took place on April 25, and a case of gold smuggling under the Custom Act 1962 has been filed. The gold has been confiscated, a TOI report stated. According to sources, Wardak was not arrested because she has diplomatic immunity. According to the law, if the value of smuggled gold exceeds ₹1 crore, the suspect is arrested and subjected to criminal prosecution. Sources mentioned that Wardak possessed a diplomatic passport issued by the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. Responding to inquiries sent by TOI, Wardak said, "I was surprised and concerned by the accusations and need to look into this matter further. I believe you're aware of the recent personal challenges I've faced while working to support the consulate and embassy. Currently, I am away from Mumbai seeking medical assistance." Officials said this may be the first instance in the city in recent times where a senior diplomat from a foreign country has been apprehended at an airport in a smuggling case. Sources mentioned that the DRI had received precise information about Wardak and stationed approximately 12 personnel at the airport. Wardak, who is 58 years old, traveled to Mumbai from Dubai with her son on an Emirates flight at approximately 5:45 p.m. They both utilized the Green Channel, signifying that they do not have any items requiring declarations to customs. As they were heading towards the airport exit, the DRI officers intercepted them. The two passengers were transporting 5 trolley bags, 1 handbag, 1 sling bag, and a neck pillow. However, their luggage do not have any text or marks which indicated their diplomatic status. According to sources, the DRI officials inquired if the passengers were carrying any dutiable goods or gold, to which they responded in the negative. Their bags underwent examinations and were cleared. The discovery of the gold only occurred after Wardak was escorted to a separate room for physical pat-down inspections by a female officer. The gold purse was hidden in her customized jacket, leggings, kneecaps, and a waist belt. The DRI officers found 25 yellow-colored metal bars, each weighing a kilogram, concealed in Wardak's customized clothing. No contraband was discovered on her son. Sources mentioned that a valuer approved by the government was summoned to authenticate the purity of the purse. The valuer appointed by the government provided a certificate stating that the purse were 24-karat gold, each weighing 1 kg. The total value of the purse was rupees 18.6 crore. Officials inquired from Wardak whether she had any documents to prove legal ownership of the foreign gold, but she was unable to provide any. The gold purse and jackets were sealed, and a panchama was conducted before Wardak was permitted to depart. Wardak was appointed as the Consulate General of Afghanistan in Mumbai during the previous government of President Ashraf Ghani. The government of President Ashraf Ghani was overthrown by the Taliban in August 2021. Even though the Taliban regime is not officially recognized by India, the former Afghan diplomatic corps still carry out their missions in Mumbai and Hyderabad, offering consular, educational, and commercial support to Afghan nationals. The Afghan embassy in Delhi was closed. However, India has reopened its embassy in Kabul and sent humanitarian aid to the conflict-affected nation. Formally, the Indian government maintains collaborations with diplomats appointed by the former Afghan government. That's all from us tonight, and we thank you for joining our program.